For the barbell floor press, we're going to begin by setting up the barbell in the optimal position. I like to use the length of my arm up to my wrist. So go ahead and lay down. Mine's already set up, but if you lay down and you set those J-hooks up so that that barbell sits at about the length to your wrist, length of your arm to your wrist, you'll be set up just right. Also make sure that barbell is pulled as far towards you on the J-hook or as far forward on the J-hook as possible. Now I'm going to get set up. Once I'm underneath that bar, I'm going to line up that bar with my eyes. As I look up at the ceiling, that bar should cross right in front of my eyes. I shouldn't be in front of it or behind it. And then I'm going to set up my feet, which is incredibly important because you're going to be pushing and developing a lot of force off of your feet. You don't want your hips to raise up off the ground, and you don't want your legs just kind of hanging out there. They're not going to do much good at providing you a base or a foundation for this movement. And then before once I lift that barbell off the rack, I'm going to do what's called bending the barbell, where I'm going to create an external rotation in my shoulder. I'm going to screw my shoulder into my upper back. It'll look something like this, where I'm imagining like I'm trying to bend the barbell, creating external rotation on both arms to create that tension that'll come through our wrist, our elbow, and our shoulder, and into our chest and upper back to produce force on this movement. So, as I sit back under here, I'm going to line up my eyes, but I'm also going to line up my body centered on the bar. The smooth part is the center. Once I'm there, I'm going to hike my feet back as far as I can towards my hips, making sure my feet are flat. I don't want to be up my heels. I don't want to be up my toes, but bring them back. We don't want to just kind of hang out here. Bring them back as far as you can. From there, I'm going to make sure both hands are equal distance from the center of the bar. I prefer a shoulder width stance. Some people prefer to be a little bit wider, but I'm going to go shoulder width. Some might even call this a close grip bench press. Once I've established my grip, I'm going to wrap my thumb and fingers around. Make sure your wrist is straight. It can be a little bit back, but we don't want our wrist to be cocked back at 90 degrees. Once you establish that grip, taking a deep belly breath, unrack the bar, bring it out in front of you with the arms fully extended. Next, we're going to bend that barbell forwards, and we're going to let those shoulder blades sink back. Taking another belly breath as you remain on that tension on the bar. Lower it under control, keeping the arms in tight until you barely feel the back of those triceps touching the ground, and then drive back up. Once you're done, re-rack the barbell. Go ahead and sit up. One of the unique things about the barbell floor press is it intentionally shortens that range of motion. Typically, on a bench press, your shoulder is able to extend and allow your upper arm to go a little bit past your rib cage or even past your back. In this case, we're stopped by the floor, and the furthest our upper arm can travel is to the point where it's parallel with our upper body. So the intentional range of motion is going to be shortened. Just know that ahead of time. That is the barbell floor press.